Holy hemorrhoids. It's like 6 a.m. when I'm heading to do some videoing down at the gym. What told you about my other job that I've been doing for a while? It's not really a job though, is it? It's like something that I enjoy doing. Scene.
Oh, what's up? It's too early, man.
Can I have a flat white, please? Thank you very much. Tuesdays we've been going down Storm. Stormzy. What? So what would you want covered? Come in. You're allowed to come in. Just talking about my 2-minute Tuesdays. You enjoyed the ab one, didn't you?
2-minute Tuesdays?
Yeah.
How long is it?
2 minutes. So, what would you like covered? 2-minute topic, nutrition, training. Let me know. Diet breaks. Many dieters fail in their quest to become lean because they believe that taking a break from their diet will lead to negative repercussions, things like adding weight, and in fact, it can actually do the opposite. Let me explain. A crazy study was conducted in 2003 where researchers set out to see or gave individuals a 2 to 6 week break on or from their diets, and what they were hoping to get from this sort of findings was they were hoping to find what actually happened when people put on weight. But surprisingly, the people who took 2 to 6 week diet breaks actually didn't put on that much weight at all. So they were purposely given the diet break, and they didn't put any or very, very little weight back on. And when it was time to get back to their normal sort of eating habits, they actually found it really, really easy to hop back on board. So essentially, the researchers actually failed in their sort of research to try and see why or how or what happened when individuals put on weight, because no one put on a significant amount of weight. Not a bad cat at all. Oh, I haven't trained. Hello! Whoa, look at those flips. And are you feeling better? Just look at the baby grow on.
Yeah, it's grown for like 10 days after the off.
Oh, hello. Hello.
So Bitcoin's currently $13,840, right?
Yeah.
So
The trading life. Tell us about the trading life, Brad. Would you recommend
really
it?
good. Yeah, to anyone.
Yeah, just numbers.
Absolutely anyone.
This is Brad's life. Just numbers. Yeah. What?
A red band, please.
A red band, yeah. Oh. So I got these 2 new followers yesterday.
I know! We were stalking you for honestly about 2 hours.
Just people interested in the recipe book who attend to the gym. If you want the recipe book, the link is down there. I'm actually giving it away for free now because there's plans for a volume 2. And it's amazing. Do you know what? It's fucking awesome. It's a class recipe book. So if you want it, links down below. And yeah, blowing my own trumpet. Couldn't give a shit because it's fucking brilliant. And it took me a good 6 months to write it. So yeah. Anyway, where was I? So the burning question on your mind. If it's not burning, maybe you don't give a shit. But what you may be thinking is, how did these people who took these diet breaks, why didn't they blow up? Why wasn't there sort of a surge of weight on the weighing scales? Why didn't they put on so much fat? And that was probably because psychological reasons, where they sort of, they knew that the break was coming up and they knew that it was in their sort of power, the break that is. So it allowed them to sort of not maybe gorge and just overeat in a sense where, because they knew it was coming and they were in control of it, they could sort of make the most of it and not overeat so much. And yeah, that's why I'm probably thinking that it happened, and that's what some of the research said as well. So ideally, a diet break should last from anywhere between sort of 10 to 14 days. And you should essentially be taking your calories back up to maintenance levels. And the majority of the extra calories should be coming from carbohydrate. Again, it's completely up to you whether you track your dietary intake throughout this sort of maintenance, sort of diet break phase. I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't get my clients to, but if you are someone who is maybe deep into prep and you're deep into prep and you need to be sort of pretty switched on with it, then I would probably recommend tracking or tracking loosely at least. Hang on, just saying about diet breaks. 2 seconds. Where was I?
Dad.
Yes.
Hi, vloggers.
You know you interfered that then?
Sorry, was that really rude of me?
Yeah.
How far in were you?
Just 3/4.
That's so irritating on my behalf, whatever.
This is Fion.
Hi.
She likes to fart. So yeah, the extra calories coming from carbohydrate will regulate hormones. Again, this is not something that I know much about, so I'm not going to go into extent or too much extent and detail with it. So physiological sort of benefits of a diet break. Obviously, as you become leaner and lighter, your metabolic rate decreases. That's the amount of calories that you essentially burn just if you were sat in a black, dark room doing absolutely nothing. So think of it like this: a smaller body or lighter body requires fewer calories to keep it functioning. And with this, your hormones like leptin, insulin, testosterone do crazy things, stuff that I don't know much about. And the extra food from taking calories back up to maintenance in this diet break allows these hormones to recover efficiently. And then we have the physiological benefits. So obviously dieting is a stressor in itself, and if you are in a deficit, then you are going to be more prone to stress when things happen in life. And if you think of it like this, if you start your diet in 2018 and you're like, oh, I need to be dieting for 365 days a year, you're automatically setting yourself up to fail because it's such a long time without sort of a break implemented. But if you know that if your diet's sort of consistently for 3 weeks and you have maybe a week off of just tracking and eating sort of intuitively, or not tracking, but eating that little bit more food, then it's going to give you something to aim for. So when we talk about sort of habits, it's that reward, knowing that if you eat well for a good 3 weeks and that 4th week, you've got something to aim for. It's sort of like light at the end of the tunnel, so it just gives people something to aim for. And that's why they work really, really effectively when implemented at the right time. Which takes me on to the frequency of a diet break and how frequent you should take one. This totally depends on your level of leanness. So someone who is sort of sub 10% will probably need one every 4 to 6 weeks if they're leading up to a show. Someone who's sort of 11% to 15%, maybe sort of 8 to 10 weeks. Someone who's holding on to that little bit more body fat, so maybe 15% plus, anywhere from sort of 12 or 10 to sort of 16 weeks. Again, there's no right or wrong. It can be reduced, it can be lengthened. It all depends on how that person is actually feeling, how their gym performance is maintaining on these lower calories. So yeah, it's sort of subjective to how the individual is feeling. And a final point to note is don't freak out. What you need to remember, or the sort of average or the rule of thumb that people like to say in the fitness industry, is that 3,500 calories on top of your maintenance calories will sort of add 1 pound of body fat. Now, you may or may not finish your diet break slightly heavier than when you started it, or you may even become lighter. I've seen that happen before in the past. Again, that's a subject for another day. I'm not going to go into it as to why it happens. So yeah, you may have gained weight and it's majority of water, or excess water, because by taking your sort of carbohydrate up to match your maintenance levels, you're going to be adding, or 1 gram of carbohydrate will hold on to sort of 3 to 4 grams of water. So don't be afraid if the scale weight does push up ever so slightly, because the majority of it, unless you've sort of eaten massive amounts of food, will be excess water weight. And that is nothing to worry about whatsoever.